And a couple of interesting things were found. Number one, the questionnaire was found to be a reliable instrument. Number two, the domains of the World Health Organization Quality of Life Assessment, of which I based the questionnaire, were not found to be as reliable. The domains consisted of physical health and well-being, psychological health and well-being, environment, and social relations. So a factor analysis was conducted to see if, not really to see if, but what factors were contributing to quality of life as it relates to music participation of the sailors. Factor analysis yielded 5 usable factors: music participation as part of life, music participation as enhancing mood, music participation aiding in social cohesion, music participation as it relates to instrument storage, and music participation as it relates to formal instruction. It was found that deployment had a very significant effect on being part of life, and rightfully so. Deployments are part of one's life. And it was encouraging to see that music participation fit into this, as music participation on deployment was part of one's life. It's interesting to note that those who had not participated in music in school found that participating in music now helped enhance their mood. A lot of this has to do with current research in education about informal learning, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a moment. It was also found that those who had secondary education found that music participation helped with social cohesion. This was encouraging because social cohesion of the factor analysis and social relations of the original construct were similar concepts and similar types of questions. It's shown then that music participation helps build camaraderie and overall friendships around the people who actually participate in music. Instrument storage showed that those who participated in music felt that instrument storage was important to deployment. It was also important to those who had had secondary education and those who did have formal instruction in school. The relation between all of these is that the sailor who deemed instrument storage important understands in those types of situations that without proper and adequate storage or space allotted for storage, there will be no instrument. There will be no way of being able to participate in music unless the sailor can sing or has some sort of a computerized or handheld device, which is also becoming a very popular means of participating in music. Using programs such as Cakewalk and GarageBand have really enhanced people who would have not normally picked up a traditional instrument, but can now sit on their computers and create some pretty neat stuff. Formal instruction yielded some of the more interesting results. Results showed that those who had private music instruction were less likely to participate in music than those who had not had private instruction. And this is also those who had participated in music in school and those who had not participated in music in school. So basically what the data is saying is that people who didn't participate in music in school in general are more likely to participate in music now than those who did participate in music in school. This could relate back to motivation. How a student was motivated as they were growing up in their musical careers, and those who didn't have any sort of instruction might be motivated now to explore music and to now continue on doing it. A lot of these theories fall in this idea of informal instruction. And informal instruction is not to take over normal pedagogy, but to supplement the pedagogy. So it's very possible that private instructors could have used these informal practices in their lessons to supplement the formal instruction that students were receiving in school, and it's possible that those students would have wanted to or desired to continue on with music. The idea of formal instruction is based off of how popular musicians learn. By playing by ear and trial and error and understanding and becoming one with your instrument and your voice, and making music your own rather than sitting down and learning notes and very structured organizations that tends to happen in both private instruction and formal instruction. This study sought to describe music participation as it relates to improving the quality of life of active duty sailors. I also wanted to see what motivates a sailor to participate in music, and then take those ideas from the data analysis and apply them to real life. In the realm of the United States active duty sailor, we can see that offering instrument storage on ships, and potentially even music programs such as a church choir for the Sunday morning worship services or a deployment band, would aid people in being able to participate in music. Also, there are several instructors for different subjects who do come on board on these ships. It's very possible that there could be a music instructor come on board for the ships and offer some sort of instruction in music. It also shows that sailors who participate in music through informal means, those that aren't structured as the ones in the school setting, are more likely to participate in music and to continue to participate in music. If this is the case, then the Navy can provide facilities on shore commands. The Navy can start building ships with specific facilities for music participation. So implications for the sailor include improving quality of life programs to accommodate music. And based on the factors of quality of life and the quality of life domains, it seems to be very feasible that this can happen. Through this study, the idea of social cohesion continued to surface. It surfaced in the original construct of the World Health Organization Quality of Life Assessment Tool. It manifested in the factor analysis. And it is also an essential part to any team-building organization, such as the United States Navy. But social cohesion goes beyond the Navy. Informal learning is a big proponent of building up these friendships. In a lot of the research dealing with informal learning, the idea of finding those who like the same types of music and want to learn the same types of things will ultimately help build friendships, produce music, and have one continue to produce music as they go on in life. All of these items can contribute to overall quality of life, not just for the sailor, not just for the music student, but even in big corporations and anywhere where there is this idea of social cohesion or a forced social situation. Music educators can understand this forced social situation that the Navy has and apply that to their performing ensemble groups such as choirs and bands and jazz bands and those types of organizations, and even a music theory class or a music theory and composition class that can incorporate these types of learning practices in there. So participation in music can definitely go beyond that. Since music has been shown to draw people into social groups, bond them together, form cohesion, form camaraderie, which ultimately will help improve one's quality of life. If there's anything we can take away from this study, it is that people desire to make music. Our job now is to provide them the means to do that. And I think that as long as the means are provided and the desire is there, there will be an increase in those who make music, participate in music, and ultimately there will be an increase in one's quality of life because of how they make music.
Watch again, there I go, underway. Out there on the Red Sea, you're a million miles away. Every ounce of extra food that Gilbert takes away, and the sweat stays on your body 'cause the showers broke today.